Hey, gang. You're going to be working on your 20th Century President Madness project. In order to do all this, you're going to have to go to my blog, which is here. Scroll down. You go to 2014 President March Madness instructions for all classes. Click on it there. Now, students are going to use the following places to do research. Well, before you even do all that, let me get here. You will each be assigned 4 presidents from the 20th century. You will receive these. They will be given to you. You will answer the questions above in either bullet point or paragraph format and be ready to discuss or argue whether your president shall advance to the next round. The more details, the better. What you're doing is you're taking 20th century presidents and you are going to debate whether or not these 20th century presidents, who is the best one? Basically, we're going to have a Final Four, then we're going to have a championship, then we're going to have a champion. Who's the best president from the 20th century? Okay? So, what I've given you in this document, you're going to be answering these questions in your template. You're going to be answering these questions about your 4 assigned presidents. What issues, problems, or events did they face, and how did they respond, lead, act, react, respond to these events? What was going on during their time in office? Was there the space race, the Great Depression, the Roaring Twenties, civil rights, segregation, Cold War? Was nothing really going on at all during their presidency? And then how would you justify if they go to the next round against their opponent? Were they a good or bad president? And how can you determine whether they were a good or bad president? Did their actions influence other nations? So did their actions keep the nation out of war? Did their actions get the nations involved with war? Did they pass tariffs that angered foreign countries? Did they get involved with wars that the United States should nothing have had to do with? You should be able to present an unbiased argument to your classmates of whether or not your president should advance to the next round once you have heard your other classmates' arguments. So you're going to have 4 presidents you're going to have to argue. Now, on the blog, I've put an example of this is the example of a template. I've actually put on the blog, Mr. B. I've actually put on the blog 2014 March Madness President Template. This is the document you will fill out to answer the questions. You'll fill them out in here, like major problems or events. Did they have any certain personality or characteristics or personality traits? You'll find this out when you watch the videos about them. Then you're going to read from the Miller Center, their impact or legacy. And here you're going to provide your unbiased argument of why they should or should not advance to the next round. You'll give me at least 4 sentences explaining why they should or should not go to the next round. Okay, so let's go back to this document. So I've given you an example of a template on Abraham Lincoln. You can read this on your own, but you've kind of seen how I've walked you through this part. Now, I'm doing something that I've never done before in terms of technology. You guys are either going to do well with it, or you're going to have a really tough time with it, and you're going to have to answer to me. For this part of the template, you have 2 choices. You can type up your response of whether or not your president should advance to the next round, or you can use your cell phones. You can choose to use your iPhone or your iPad or whatever, and you can create a voice memo where you will talk into it and explain and provide at least a 2-minute explanation about your president and why he should or should not advance to the next round based on your research. You will then email me or message that to me. You will message your audio recording to my email address. At the beginning of each audio recording, make sure that you say, "Hello, my name is so-and-so, and I am talking about so-and-so president, and this is my opinion," and then you provide your opinion. Now, what I've done, we're going to have interclass debates, and we're going to make it fun. There are Google Docs for each class on the blog. If I go to the blog and I go to all Google Live Docs right here, and I click on that, takes me to, I'm going to do a list so it's easier. March Madness. And I'm just going to click on Jefferson. And right there, I have the exact same site. I open it up. And these are the websites where I'm going to get my research to answer those questions. So, these are websites where you will read from the White House, from the National Portrait Gallery, the History Channel, the Miller Center. I've also given you a handful of videos that you can watch. The presidents, from Woodrow Wilson to FDR, Harry S. Truman to Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter to George W. Bush. I know that Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft are not up there. You'll have to look under the presidents from 1883 to 1913. You'll have to just Google that in YouTube. So I've given you those videos and those websites. Okay? Now, each class has a template like this. You can go on the template and you can collaborate with your classmates. So there will be a Google Live doc for each class where you can update the information about each 20th century president. Work together, collaborate. You guys can check each other's information if you want within each other's class. So if 4 of you are working on Theodore Roosevelt, you guys can work on Theodore Roosevelt together. And you can do the templates together. I am grading the templates, FYI. These are going to be homework grades. Quiz grades, pardon me. These are going to be quiz grades, your templates. And I am grading them for content. I'm grading them for your ability to answer the questions. And I'm grading based on your argument of whether or not you think they were a good or bad president. The more details, the merrier. Okay? So you've got all your 20th century presidents here. And you can edit them. Once again, if you're going to do this, I would suggest that you put down, Theodore Roosevelt was an environmentalist and he created Yellowstone National Park. And then write your name next to it. That way we kind of know who's who. Okay? If you want to go on YouTube or on the History Channel and look for more videos to answer these questions, you certainly can. But just to bring it back to you, these are the places I've provided for you to do the research. So you can answer the questions from, let me go back to the template. This is my Google Docs. You guys don't have access to that. So you can actually go to the template itself. Oh, no, it's on the other page. My bad. I'm trying to do more than one thing here on my computer. Sorry. So it's 20th century president template. This is where you're answering the questions. All right? This should be interesting. We are going to spend a while doing this. We're going to spend at least a week arguing the presidents and debating who really deserves to go on to who really is the best president of the 20th century. So I hope you enjoy this assignment, and giddy up, be good.